The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey everybody, if you can hear me, can you just go ahead and just let me know by typing yes in the chat box? And meanwhile, I'm going to delete this reminder here for myself to press record. That was just to grab my attention so I didn't forget to press record, because I always forget. So, all right, yes, Jim. Let me just expand this chat box out so I can see it a little bit better. All right. So Gene, yes, and love the pick. Thanks. Chuck, yes. Simon, yes. Joy, thanks. All right, so a little bit after 10:30, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. People are still coming on, but since I just pressed record, if anyone comes on late, I'll be sending out a replay later. But make sure you stick around for the full webinar, because I'm obviously going to be giving away 5 free copies of this video series at the end of this webinar. So make sure you stick around for that. So welcome to the pre-launch webinar for PLR Video Smackdown version 4. And as you know, it's going live today at 11 a.m. EST. And I just wanted to put together this special pre-launch webinar in usual fashion, because I wanted to share a few tips with you on how you could use educational style videos like the ones included in PLR Video Smackdown version 4 to get more clients and obviously make more money per client, every client that you get. So I want to share a few tips with you, give away a couple free or 5 free copies of the product to 5 people, and then I'm going to launch live at the end of the webinar, and I'm going to stay on for a few minutes after to answer any questions, if anyone has any questions for me related to PLR Video Smackdown version 4 or anything we cover in this webinar. So let's go ahead and just get started. So today's webinar is going to go like this. First of all, it's going to be a pretty quick webinar. We're going to try to keep it to around 30 minutes. The first thing we're going to talk about is how to create what I call stealth selling campaigns that get clients on autopilot. And this is basically how to use educational style videos to create stealth selling campaigns that pull in clients on autopilot. I'm also going to talk about a few ways on how you can make more money per client. So everyone usually stops, after they get that client, they sell one thing to them, they usually move on to the next client or try to find that next client, but they're really leaving a lot of money on the table, because the real money is had when you increase the lifetime value of every client that you get. So I'm going to talk about a few ways that you can use educational style videos to increase the lifetime value of your client. And then I'm going to give away the 5 free copies. Then we're going to go live, and then I'm going to answer questions. So let's go ahead and just get started. So let me just quickly give a brief overview of PLR Video Smackdown version 4 before we get started, just in case this is the first time you're hearing about it. And when I refer back to it in this webinar, you know what I'm talking about. So it basically includes 6 done-for-you, pre-created educational style videos. And it's basically designed to work as a 6-day video series that you deliver to clients or prospects over the course of 6 days. And they're designed to educate your prospects on the different social media sites out there. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest, Vine. And then the sixth day is all about how to combine all of these social media sites and integrate them and make them work together to bring your clients more leads or more sales and more customers. So the videos come in US and UK voiceovers. They come ready to use in MP4 files that are both web and mobile friendly. So you can upload them right now to the internet and use them as is, or you can customize them. I've included all the source files, such as PowerPoint slides, original scripts, original voiceover MP3s, and background music. So if you want to customize the videos, add your branding, you can do that. And customizing these videos are pretty easy to do. If you ever wanted to add your watermark or your website URL to the bottom of the video, or even swap out the voiceover with your own, you could easily do that, and I provide tutorials on how to do that in the members area. And also, I know I'm going to get asked if there's an OTO. Yes, there is. I always include one because I like to give people an optional upgrade. I've included something called the Elite Promo Pack in this one, and it's definitely not required, but it's, there are some promotional tools in there that are going to help you use these videos or put these videos to work for you even faster. It includes a matching infographic that we had our designer create. It includes some pre-written follow-up emails that you can use with the videos, and it also includes a couple other video training. So now that we've covered what the product is, let's go ahead and get started with the first tip. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is, what is this thing I keep referring to called the stealth selling campaign? Well, it's basically just a fancy word for a glorified follow-up sequence. So most people, when they put up a website for their web design business or their offline marketing business, whatever it is that you do, video marketing, they're doing good if they have a way to capture leads on their website. If you've got like an email form on your website or a pop-up box or whatever, you're capturing leads some way. You're at least doing something right. But most people don't really do much with those leads once they get them on their email list. You always hear that there's money in the list, and there definitely is, but you need to actually follow up with those subscribers once they get on your list and actually work towards turning them into paying clients. So if you have an email opt-in form on your website right now, do you have a follow-up sequence in place like the one on the screen here? And this is just a mini version of one, really. This could really go on for weeks or months until they actually turn into clients. But it basically goes like this. You have traffic coming into your website, whether that be from any type of lead generation or traffic technique, such as direct mail, for example, if you do any of that kind of stuff, cold calling, SEO, pay-per-click, networking, blogging, referrals, SEO, whatever. Once you get that traffic to your website, that traffic is either going to contact you right away for a quote on your services, or they're going to leave, or if you have an opt-in form on your website offering them something for free, they might enter their email address to get that free offer. So the whole idea with a stealth selling campaign is to use something that you can give to those website visitors. And this is something that I actually implemented in my web design business early on, and I've been doing it in every other business I've started since. Basically, you offer them something for free. That's not rocket science. I'm sure you've heard offer your website visitors something in free in exchange for their email. So offer them a social media video series or any type of video series, really, and deliver it over the course of several days. So I've used the videos from PLR Video Smackdown version 4 as an example. So if someone signs up for your email list, day one they're going to get a video, or they're going to get the Facebook video. The Facebook video is going to give them an overview of what Facebook is and how it specifically relates to helping them in their business. So we might talk about the stats about Facebook, really drive home the social proof or the proof and the reasons why they should be on Facebook, and what it can do for them as far as bringing them more customers. Then at the end of the video, there's just a very short, soft call to action, which basically says something like, if you want to learn more about how to use Facebook in your business, then give us a call. And hopefully that person or that prospect actually does that call to action and calls you or emails you or whatever you tell them to do, and they turn into a paying client. So the whole idea is to bring them through this series of videos to basically educate them on your different social media services. If you offer just video marketing, for example, maybe you want to deliver a video series on the different types of videos you can create for your clients. Or if you do web design, maybe you could educate them on the benefits of a website over the course of several days. But since this product is about social media and selling social media, I've used that as an example here. You could even string this out over the course of 6 months. You could maybe for the first week focus on Facebook and then continually emailing them about Facebook on the first week, until they call you. And then week 2, start talking about YouTube and video marketing and so on. So I hope that makes sense. I'm just going to basically summarize it right here. So a stealth selling campaign is basically just a fancy name for a nice follow-up system or a follow-up sequence. And that basically starts with putting a lead capture form on your website and following up with those leads through an automated video series. So the whole idea is to educate those subscribers, provide them with some type of value that, where they actually learn something, and then you have a soft call to action at the end. It's really not rocket science and at all, like I said right there. The magic really is in the follow-up. Like I said, most people just give up after they get that email on their website, after they get that local business owner signing up to their list. They usually don't have any follow-up sequence in place, and that's probably why most of their subscribers don't end up calling them. So I just want to ask you, are you building a list with a follow-up system right now? If you're building a list on your website, do you have a follow-up sequence in place of some kind? If not, then you might want to think about setting up something. So the next thing I want to talk about is how to make more money per client. And it's kind of the same idea here. It's basically a follow-up sequence, but this time instead of for prospects, it's for paying customers. And I've just done a really quick mind map diagram there to basically kind of map out how the process would work. It's pretty similar. It's basically once you get a client and they've paid you and the project is complete, then you want to enter them into your customer follow-up sequence. And it doesn't have to immediately start with pitching them on your different services. You might want to wait a couple weeks before you start pitching them on your other services. Maybe week one, it would be something like, you'd have an automated email that goes out that just says, just checking in with you to make sure your website or your video is working out for you. Do you have any questions? Do you have any issues with it? If so, here's how you can contact me. Maybe a couple weeks, just check in with them. And then maybe on the third week, you can start letting them know about your other services. So just like with the leads, most people give up after they get a client, and I did the same thing. Once you say if you sell them a website, immediately after they make that last payment on the website, at least I did anyways, I would think, okay, now I have to go out and I have to find another client because I need to continue making money. I need more clients. But really what you need to do is start thinking about how you can increase the lifetime value of that customer or every customer, so you don't have to constantly go out there and try to find new clients. Keep selling your other stuff to your existing clients. And again, it's definitely not rocket science, but it's what works. So for the first couple weeks, again, just check in with them, make sure they're okay. Then after that, use these videos or videos like these, if you create your own, doesn't matter, to let them know about your other services. In this case, it's social media. So if you sold them a video marketing campaign or a website and you want to offer, these 5 different social media services as, cross-selling these, you want to cross-sell your other social media services, just set up an automated follow-up sequence to be sent out to your paying customers. So once someone pays the final payment for their website, manually subscribe them or tell them to subscribe to your customer follow-up sequence. And it basically works the same. The process is basically the same. It explains what the social media site does. In this case, it would be Facebook, what it can do for them, and a soft call to action. And then that person turns into a repeat client. And they can actually stay on your customer follow-up sequence after that. You can actually have several customer follow-up sequences. If they actually invest in one of these services, and let's say someone makes it to day 3 and they decide to buy your Twitter marketing services. Well, they didn't see day 4 or day 5. So you might want to have some separate lists in place that continually pitches your remaining services to them over the course of time. So I hope that makes sense. I will quickly go over the bullet points here, and then I'm going to show you a couple other tips that I decided to throw in here. So it's basically making more money per client, increase the lifetime value of every customer that you get. And like I said, most people quit after the first sale or after they get that first project from a client. So just continually sell more stuff to the same clients. It not only increases the lifetime value of your customer, but it also lowers your advertising costs, and you don't need to do as much advertising or client hunting when you have a system in place to sell to your existing clients who you've already worked so hard to acquire. And it's really how to scale and build a true business. And having sold a business recently, I definitely noticed how much more a follow-up sequence had actually built up the value of that business versus if I didn't have a follow-up sequence in place. It's definitely how to scale and build a real, true, profitable long-term business that you could either sell later down the road or maybe expand and hire on other employees, whatever it is that your long-term goal is. And again, it's basically automated cross-selling via autoresponder. So again, do you have a system in place for cross-selling to your existing clients? If not, then you definitely want to put something in place. Again, I've already, I've got a solution for you here today. But even if you don't take me up on, this product, make sure you create something on your own and do have a cross-selling system in place. So just a few more ideas that I wanted to throw in here on how you could use educational style videos like the ones included in PLR Video Smackdown version 4 or any other video really that you decide to make. You could give these videos away for free to your clients. And I don't mean just give them away as lead magnets like I've been talking about here, but maybe you have some clients and maybe you just want to create some goodwill with them, or you just want to give them away in some other way. You're more than welcome to do that. Just give them away for free, get on your client's good side. You could actually create a digital product and sell it to your customers. So maybe you specialize in training offline businesses. Maybe you don't sell services, or maybe you want to add digital product creation to your line of products and services. Just take these videos, package, remove the call to actions at the end, and package them up into a digital video course and sell it. You could also use these videos on your individual service pages. So let's say you have a services page, and maybe you have a page for each one of your social media services. You could actually have these videos on those pages. And you could also take these videos, if you have a brand new YouTube account that you've just created, or maybe you don't have much activity on your YouTube account, you could basically use these videos to populate your YouTube account and optimize them for your local keywords and obviously bring in traffic and all that good stuff. So I see a few questions coming in the chat box here, so I'm just going to wait to the end to go over these. But what I want to do now is do the fun part and just give away 5 free copies of PLR Video Smackdown version 4. So it's basically going to go like this. I'm going to say a magic word for you to say in the chat box, because I know some people probably aren't listening right now, so those people aren't going to get a free copy. But I'm going to tell you to say a magic word. You're going to type it in the chat box, and I'm going to pick 5 people at random. If I say your name, just go ahead and email Emily at videorevolver.com. She's my assistant, and she's going to set you up with access to the product. Just make sure you refer back to this webinar and just say that I picked your name. So if you can go ahead and just type the word turkey in the chat box, just so I know that you're actually listening. Cool. All right. Awesome. All right. Let's see here. All right. So for some reason, I'm seeing everyone's first name twice. I think it's probably because of the way I collected names and email addresses on the sign-up form. So sorry about that. So Elena, so A-L-A-N-A, who said turkey, you get a free copy of PLR Video Smackdown version 4. Go ahead and email Emily and let her know that I picked your name. The second person is going to be Mark, who entered turkey with 50,000 R's and K's. And again, sorry for just the first name part here, but I'm going to try to pick people who I only see one version of their name in here. So Mark, if you typed turkey with the 50,000 exclamation marks, you get a free copy. Go ahead and email Emily at videorevolver.com. Steve, turkey with all the trimmings, I'll give you a free copy. So there's 3. And let's see here. How about Karen, who says gobble, gobble, gobble turkey? So I got one more copy to give out. And let's see here. How about Simon, Turkey in the UK? So there's 5 free copies. If I didn't call your name, hopefully I'll pick you next time. I like to do this on all of my products. But if I did call your name, feel free or go ahead and email Emily and she'll get you set up. Just make sure you refer back to this webinar and she'll know what you're talking about. So I've already set the sales page live if you want to check out PLR Video Smackdown version 4. It's at videorevolver.com/PVS4. So if you get there and the page is like loading or if it's a white screen, just try to be patient because I've been having some problems with HostGator lately with my server running slow, so hopefully we don't have any issues. But if we do, then if we just wait a few minutes, it should go away. That's a topic on its own, which I'm going to be talking about soon. I'm actually going to be switching from HostGator because I don't know about you, but I've been having a lot of downtime with them. So yeah, so PLR Video Smackdown version 4 is live at the link there. I'm going to put it in the chat box, and then I'm going to answer some questions here. So yeah, I just put it in the chat box so you can click it. Yeah, way too much downtime with HostGator. It's totally unacceptable. Yes, there is one OTO. It's not required. It just includes some promotional materials that you might want to look at as far as some pre-written emails and an infographic and a few other videos. All right, so now I'm just going to someone's saying the link is not working, so let me just double check it. Yeah, if you click the link in the chat box, it's working for me. So, all right, yeah, everyone's saying Chuck says it's working. All right, so the link does seem to be working. So if I see any other issues pop up, I'll attend to those. But I'm going to go through and answer some questions. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to type them in the chat box, whether it's about these videos or anything we talked about on the webinar. Okay. So yeah, I'm just reading through these real quick. Okay, so Lane is asking, does it include a lead capture page? No, this particular offer does not. But if you're interested in like a WordPress theme to use for lead capture, you might want to check out the Lead Bravo theme by PrimoPress. So PrimoPress is a business that I built with my former partner Jamie Garside. It's basically a premium WordPress theme business. We recently sold that business to someone else because we wanted the business to grow. So it's under new ownership, but the themes, all the same staff is still there. The programmers and designers. So the themes are still, the themes are obviously still good. The new owner is a good guy, and his wife's a good person too. So they're going to continually provide good themes. So I'm still going to recommend the PrimoPress themes forever. But if you're looking for a good lead capture theme, check out Lead Bravo. Just go to primopress.com. Okay, yeah, Bill's saying you could also integrate these emails with additional touches and follow-ups. I'm trying to. Yeah, you definitely could. I mean, you could always add more emails to the entire process, create multiple different lists, segment those different lists, whole bunch of stuff you could do. All right, so Ed is saying, let's see, Peter, I really hope you send me a link to the recorded webinar. Yeah, I'm going to try to send out a link this afternoon to this recording. Bill is saying, isn't this a small portion of your overall sales funnel, which tends to be a series of waterfalls of one funnel into another sales funnel and then into another? Yeah, you could basically, if you offer multiple different types of services, yeah, definitely. I mean, if you offer social media, if you offer video, maybe you could have multiple different series for each different set of services, if that's what you mean. And if you have different levels of products, maybe if you have higher priced personal consulting that costs, a lot more, and maybe you want to bring clients down that ladder, then yeah, you could definitely work these into the earlier part of the funnel. So Yvette says these are valuable tips, Peter. Makes sense, but always important to hear. Okay, there's a lot of turkey things in here, so I'm going to skip through those. Okay, so a couple people are saying that they didn't see the OTO. Okay, I'll go ahead and post the link in the chat box for that, but for some reason, there's usually a hiccup with JVZoo that comes up, so I'm just going to put that in here. So the link to the OTO is basically, I just put it in the chat box, but it's basically PVS4-upgrade. Yeah, and there's also a link to it in the members area too. But if you are missing the link for some reason, you can click the link in the chat box, or you can just email me and I'll send it to you, peter@videorevolver.com, and I'll get that fixed as soon as I get off this webinar. Gene is asking, are you and Jamie no longer working together on projects? We're not working. We don't own a business together anymore because we own a Primo Press, but we still might team up on things in the future. Yvette's asking, do you use a member theme or can you recommend one? Yeah, definitely. I recommend Optimize Press 2, which just came out like a couple months ago. Definitely want to check out that theme. I've been building some new sites with it, and it's one of the best themes I've ever purchased as far as building sales pages and membership sites and customer portals and stuff like that. Definitely check out Optimize Press 2. How long is each video? I'm sorry if I can't pronounce your name, Steven or Steepix. Each video ranges from 3 to 6 minutes long. Peter's asking, are these similar to previous versions? No, these are completely different videos. These are actually educational style videos that are completely different than any other PLR videos I've ever offered. These are freshly created, never released before. All right, so I'm going to get off the webinar right now and fix what seems to be an issue with the link to the OTO because people aren't seeing that. Thanks so much for coming on. If I didn't get your question, if I didn't answer your question, you can always email me, peter@videorevolver.com, and I'll answer it if I can. Again, PLR Video Smackdown version 4 has gone live. videorevolver.com/PVS4. If you have any questions for me, just let me know. Thanks for coming on, and I'll talk to you soon.